Hello, everybody. We just have gotten finished with a project involving contour lines, and now we're going to start talking about cross contour lines. So, as you remember, a contour line is a drawing of the outside edges of an object, and a cross contour is actually going to be drawing the lines that describe the surface of this object here and the fact that it is round like this. So we're going to do that all through lines. We're going to start this by just drawing a contour line drawing of our lemon here. So the very first thing I'm going to do is lightly block in kind of an oval shape like so, trying to get about the same size as my lemon here. And then once I get something kind of like that, I'm going to then add on the little bumpy part here at the end. So there's like that little guy right over here. And then I'm going to add in the little stem over here at the end, kind of on the back side over here. So I'm just going to get a little sense of where that is over here. And I'm going to look at this shape here before I darken anything in. I want to make sure that I'm happy with how this is. So I think I want to make sure that my lemon is a little fatter than my inner lines on here. So I want it to be about that big around here, I think. I think that's gonna look good. So once I get to this point where I have it lightly drawn in, I wanna go ahead and darken in these lines. So take your time here. You don't wanna go too dark too soon. You wanna make sure you're happy with the overall shape. And then once you start drawing around these edges, lemons are not perfectly smooth, so your line doesn't need to be totally straight. It can be a little bit lumpy as you come down like this, and in fact, it'll probably look more realistic if it's a little lumpy coming down. And then I'm just coming all the way down over here. I'm looking at my lemon. I'm trying to draw this particular lemon as well as I can. And I'm just gonna come up over here, and then I'm gonna go around this little part here. And then I'm gonna draw this side over here, coming up, going about this fast, meaning nice and slow, not rushing anything. Then I'm gonna come over here on this side and finish off this top curve here. So now I've got a contour of my shape here, and now I'm gonna start adding in the cross contours. So the important thing to remember is when you go to start adding in your cross contours, basically you're going to be drawing oval shapes, because this is a round form here. So we're going to be drawing lines describing the top plane of this lemon as it comes down. The thing to remember when you're doing this is that your curvy oval shapes should follow the curve of your contour. So on this side of my lemon, the curve goes like this. It's that angle of a curve. And then on this side of my lemon, it curves a different direction. It starts to go the opposite way here. So I'm gonna have lines that are gonna be curving one way, and then by the time they get into the middle, it's gonna be almost a straight line going diagonally like that. And then they're gonna start to curve going the other way. So I'm gonna start on this side over here. And I'm just going to make a little line that comes not straight across like this, but comes about out of here, and it just goes curvy little line like that. It just curves all the way around here like so. I'm gonna try to draw this not as dark as I have my outside edge here. So we're not gonna go super dark yet. I'm gonna keep things nice and light at the beginning, but I do want you to be able to see, so I might draw a little bit darker than you need to. So I'm gonna make another one over here, about that far apart. And again, I'm just following that curve, trying to make it angle about pretty similar to that curve over here. And then I'm gonna throw in another one over here. You wanna try to get them fairly evenly spaced, but you don't have to measure anything here. You just wanna kind of eyeball it. If it's a little bit off, it's totally fine. A moment ago, I said something about how you can kind of imagine there's gonna be a straight line here. You may want to go ahead and really lightly add that guy in right here, right now. Because what we wanna do is we wanna have our curves start to flatten out a little bit. So it just kind of, this angle just blends right into that straight line. So I'm gonna start to flatten out my curve here like so. Getting a little more space in the middle here. And I'm gonna flatten out my curve one more time. Drawing nice and light like so. And then now when I have a straight line going through here, it kind of feels like it fits at this point. And now I'm going to start curving the opposite direction because now I'm going towards this curve over here. So now I'm going to start going the other way. So now my curve is like this, and again, rounding it out as it comes down. Nice and light, not too dark here. Coming in, rounding out like so, and then rounding out like so. And I might need to start increasing my roundness to fit into this. Maybe I'm good. So about to here. And maybe like one more, like right at the end here. And then I can throw in a couple little guys into this little thing here too. So now I've got the cross contours going this direction here, going across the surface of my lemon this way. I can also do them going the opposite direction too, kind of similar to a globe where you have longitude and latitude lines. It's gonna look a lot like a globe. So we had that straight line going through the middle of it, kind of at a diagonal because our lemon is not perfectly straight across. If I put my pencil right on the little endpoint here and the stem here, we can see it's going to be kind of a diagonal going this way too, if I'm lining up those points. So I can even then come in here and I can even make a really light straight line going across right here. And now I'm going to do the same thing I just did, but now I'm making my cross contours go the opposite direction. So if I start at the top, I'm going to be following this curve here. So now I'm going up like this. And again, I'm going real light here because I want to make sure I get my lines in a decent place before I go ahead and darken anything in. So I'm going to go like that. And then I might throw another one in over here. Nice and slow here, no rushing. Keep it nice and neat. That's there, and then I'm gonna move my vertical one down just a touch so it's not touching the other one. And then I'm gonna start bringing this guy around over here. And then I'm gonna bring this one around over here. And then one more over here. Kind of like so. So now when you see this, these lines start to create a sense of the roundness of this form here. You can even go in and add in a bit of a shadow under here if you want. It's kind of hard to see one under here. There's a little bit of a shadow, but even if we just kind of come in and just darkening just a little bit right under this guy here, and then just kind of fade that into the whiteier paper, it will look wonderful. So I'm just gonna darken in a little bit right here. And then I'm just gonna really lightly drag my pencil back and forth over here. Very, very light touch. Like I'm petting a cat. Very light touch here. Just letting it kind of fade into the white of the paper here. All right. Now, for the next video, we're gonna do something a little bit more complicated. We're gonna do an apple.